Hey, friends, welcome to the think tank. Good morning, Dandy. Gobble, gobble. I expect it to be a really, really slow day. It's the American Thanksgiving. So that part of the world is going to be pigging out on turkey and pumpkin pie. And for the think tank, we're going to be working on the first couple of days of Christmas from hell, basically. Advent calendar from hell for every day. So on the December 1st, I'm working on a crime from December 1st from the past and trying to get, the one that might be interesting to everybody. So I'm probably going to do a members live later and we'll go through what I've received from everybody because I do like you guys to participate. Yeah, we'll go through what you guys have thought, and we'll make some final decisions, and then I can get going. This is just right around the corner. Excuse me. Hey, Wolfie, good to see you, friend. Turkey dinner for you tonight? It's going to be, like I say, a fast live. They've actually charged Mitch Westerman. So if you're not familiar with who he is, he's the guy that got into the lawyer's office. One of the lawyers took the pictures of sadly deceased Abby and Libby and then let them go out into the public, from what I gather. So with three main characters, Mitch Westerman is the guy that got into his office. Well, actually, it was kind of like a war room, but it wasn't locked from his office. And while Baldwin was taking a phone call, this guy just went into the war room and started taking pictures. And then he decided to send them off to somebody else. So that's somebody else. I don't have his name at the exact moment fresh in my head, but he unalived himself over this whole deal. And before he decided to do that, he sent them off to someone else who then sent them to the murder sheet, who sent them to law enforcement. That is kind of a chain as far as that goes. So, with that said, like I said, they finally arrested Mitch Westerman. I didn't know how long this was going to take, but we'll go through the documents and we'll look at a couple articles and see, give me your opinion, what you think about this. How you doing, James? As Dandy says, gobble gobble. So we'll look at the articles first, and then we'll go. The paperwork isn't extremely long. Let's see here. Make sure it's big enough for everyone. So I should be getting the art or the clip from TMZ from my little stint talking with them. So when I do, I'll post it in Discord, maybe on my YouTube as well. We'll see how it goes. It was interesting. You never know what's going to slide by you, or how do you say no to some things, right? Do you want to go on TMZ? I think I do. But it's you guys. The only way I was ever able even to do like a 30-second clip on there is from dealing with you guys for like the last couple of years, working with you. You guys have helped me get kind of used to having the camera in front of me. There you go. So with that said, let's do this. That's why I was bouncing around yesterday with all my times. They were late. Okay, let's see what goes on here. Do we have it down here a little bit? There he is there, hey? What a mofo. Are you kidding me? Am I allowed to say this? Probably not.
Not only Richard Allen, but Abby
Well, it's doing that. What do you think about this? I'm tending to agree with you, James, that there's an issue there as well. It's not just with Judge Gull. I think, I'm sorry, but if they don't scrap it and start again with, I mean, even a new prosecutor, judge, everything, and figure out what to do with Richard Allen in the meantime, because, yeah, Baldwin should have known better. Absolutely. Especially with a case like this. All righty. So I'll close that down. Or will I? Maybe I'll finish off. No? Come on. What are you doing? Okay. Very good then. So let's see here. Carroll County, a former friend and coworker of attorney Andrew Baldwin, who was one half of accused Delphi deleter Richard Allen's original defense team, has been charged after he admitted taking photos of sensitive crime scene evidence related to the Delphi deletings and leaking of the photos online. Mitchell Westerman, 41, of Westfield, is charged with one count of conversion, a Class A misdemeanor. Like, what is that? Something like this, and it's a little misdemeanor. He screwed up this entire trial, and somebody deleted themselves because of it. According to court documents, Westerman once was employed at Baldwin's law firm, and the two had been friends for several years. Westerman no longer works with Baldwin, but said he frequently stopped by the office to visit with Baldwin and the staff. On October 5th, law enforcement were notified of a leak in evidence related to the slayings of Libby German and Abby Williamson Delphi in February of 2017. The evidence, including sensitive crime scene photos, had been spread online and distributed to YouTube and podcast content creators. So, guys, with that said, I actually had to get a hold of somebody, the retired FBI that I have talked to over the years when weird stuff comes my way. I got a drawing of this particular scene, and it was it was not pleasant. So I will never show that. I did send it to her. She had not seen it yet. So, if I get anything that's controversial like that, I am not getting involved. They can take a look at what I received, and she can pass it on to the people she knows if it's something. But the way it sounded, she had not seen that yet. So it's going to be a product of this leak. And I just think it's disgusting. That picture or that drawing, nobody will ever see that. Not on this channel. It's absolutely disgusting. Other channels, get a hold of it. I'm sure that you'll be able to find it there if anyone's interested, but not this cowgirl. On October 9th, Westerman reportedly contacted Baldwin and admitted to being behind the leak. Westerman told Baldwin that he had stopped by the law firm's office and found evidence photos related to the Delphi case spread out in Baldwin's conference room. Westerman admitted to using his phone, to take photographs of the evidence and then sharing those photos with a fisherman. Investigators determined the fisherman then shared the evidence with a man from Texas, who in turn forwarded the evidence to various YouTube and podcast creators. According to documents, the fisherman ended up taking his own life after being questioned by police about the evidence. Well, it sounds like this guy was part of the military. So the disgrace that something like this could bring him, I guess maybe he thought it wasn't worth it. Westerman admitted in a sworn statement that Baldwin did not give him permission to take the photos of the crime scene evidence he found in the conference room of the law firm's office. He also said Baldwin was not present in the conference room when he took the photos. Brad Rossi, the other half of Allen's original defense team, called Westerman's action theft due to him not having permission from either of the attorneys to take photographs of evidence, let alone share the sensitive information with others. The evidence leak has caused a flood of problems for the highly publicized case, including playing a major role in Judge Brandel removing both Rossi and Baldwin from the case after calling their actions grossly negligent. Baldwin previously called the leak of Westerman a betrayal and said he has since kept all Delphi documents in a file locked in cabinets. Both Baldwin and Rossi continue to plead their case to the Indiana Supreme Court to be reinstated as Allen's legal counsel, while also calling for Judge Gall to be thrown from the case. So if we remember back, the case was originally set for January. And with all of this, it's looking like it's going to be closer to October or November. So being this was not anything to do with this man, and he is still he's still got a charge against him, a very serious charge. But what do you guys think? Should he sit behind bars for another year because the court has lost control? What do you guys think about that? To me, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. So this is Mitch Westerman. This is his photo when he was getting arrested. You know, I am not saying for 2 seconds that Richard Allen is not bridge guy. I am not saying for 2 seconds that is not the case. What I'm saying is this is an ish show that is going around this case. It just does not involve Allen's case. It doesn't. You know, some arsehole that should have known better. I mean, it sounds like he was a lawyer. So what, can he be just barred for an action like this? How far can this go? I mean, we have to remember his actions caused somebody to unalive themselves. Let's see what we got going here.
Today, I believe that same God has provided us with justice for Abby and Libby.
Sorry, guys. I don't want to get in trouble for using the music. Do you guys wonder, like I do, why he has got such a voice in this? It's really kind of confusing me as to why he's even got a voice in what's going on. And so there. So let's see here. In October, Indiana State Police began investigating the release of the evidence related to the deleting of 2 Delphi teenagers, and on Wednesday arrested Mitchell Westerman in connection with the leak. According to a news release published Wednesday, Indiana State Police began investigating evidence that the information from an ongoing criminal court proceeding, the case against Richard Allen, the man suspected of deleting Libby German and Abby Williams on February 14th, 2007. On Tuesday, Special Prosecutor Lindsay Holden Kay filed charges in Johnson Superior Court, and an arrest warrant for a criminal conversion, a Class A misdemeanor, was issued for Westerman, according to the police. So a misdemeanor. What do you guys think of that? I don't know how I feel about that right now. It seems pretty it doesn't seem it weighs with what has actually happened. In Indiana, criminal conversion is defined as taking unauthorized control over someone's property. Westerman was arrested by state police detectives and transported to the Johnson County Jail, the release stated. The information Westerman allegedly released to the public had not previously been released. I just don't know, you guys. Is this enough? A cross for Abby and Libby German sits in the snow along the Mona High Bridge Trail Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. And this is still there. How sad. "24 photos. There you go. That looks like the one that we've seen. I wonder if we can boost this up a little bit more. So this is Mike Patty. This is Libby's grandfather, and he's standing inside Abby and Libby Memorial Park along the Hoosier Heartland, Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. Abby and Libby German were both Delphi 8th graders and were taken while hiking on a popular community trail near Delphi back in 2017. This family has been fighting, like they have been fighting. It makes me ill. I did read something earlier. I wasn't too sure about the person that actually released it. I'm not sure I trust him. But one thing it did say is that Becky Patty, the grandmother, Mike's wife, is extremely upset over all of this BS floating around the kids getting justice. A band shell sits in the snow-covered Abby and Libby Memorial Park. They have done a really, really good job to set up something else for kids to do. So this is Abby's mom. Courthouse holding a photo of her daughter Thursday, February 9th, 2021. Abby Williams and Libby German, the 8th graders, were deleted while hiking on a popular community trail. She only had Abby. Okay. Playground and shelters. Beautiful. I know this was through, if I understand right, actually, that this was through community donations. I know it's finished up now. Hmm. And there's the infamous bridge. So the thing about this river is there's a lot of areas where there's sandbars that you can cross back and forth. We've looked on Google Earth and other videos that we've been able to find. That was Toby Lesenby. right there. Look at that, all over town. And nobody identified Richard Allen. And they were scattered everywhere. You know, it's been 7 years. Look at that. Now, if he did it, can you imagine just walking around this town, seeing that everywhere, knowing your days were numbered? Yeah, all over the place. Good on them. Look at that. The 2 different drawings concern me. Loving memory, Libby German. Looks like that came from the school. Look at how small he is. Like he comes up, he's just over this guy's shoulders, just under his chin. Yeah, it's one description we did not hear, someone who was 5'4". He has heavy protection around him. Look at that, he's wearing the vest. They keep their heads open. I never have figured that one out. So this would be where Richard Allen worked. This is just after he got picked up. Mug shot. The size of his pupils, he's mad or freaked or something. Not quite sure who that lady is. But yeah, they are definitely they're definitely on this. So let's look at the documents, guys. So with these documents, when we are all done here, I will be putting them in my Patreon. I'll boost those up for everybody to see. How y'all doing? Nunya, Lacey, Mom, there you are. Good to see you. Mal, am I missing everybody? Anybody? I am sure she is. I would literally be sick. Yeah. You know, Lacey, the family doesn't really say. They're pretty tight-lipped about that part. Yeah, you're right. Those families will be going through hell every day. The Odin connection coming out and finding out the guards were heathens make me wonder the validity of the defense's claims. You know what? It's pretty interesting, isn't it? It's another rabbit hole, absolutely. I mean, sadly, it seems that whole area, there's some pretty interesting humans walking around. Yes, RA in the bar, drinking in front of the wanted poster. It's true, he was sitting there with his wife. They were playing pool, and he was directly underneath it. I've put following cases with gag orders. The conspiracy are mad annoying. They really are. You know, I might mention that something's going on as far as gossip, but that's where it stays. We have to pretty much deal in fact, especially if we're going to get this information out to numerous people. The last thing you want to do is put out bad information. It's just not cool. I mean, there are channels out there that thrive on that stuff. It's just this isn't the channel that. No, like I say, I won't. If I get something suspicious, I just send it off to that a previous FBI agent, and I let her deal with it. I found Odin stuff from 4 years ago on Reddit and a bunch of pics that I'd never seen before around the crime scene. Some creepy shit. Oh, yes. Yeah. I got some sent to me, or a drawing of it sent to me, and I sent it to Jennifer Coffindoffer, is who I sent it to. I don't know what the hell to do with this stuff, so it just seems to me she would have the contacts, so that's how I deal with it. Happy Thanksgiving. I can't eliminate him. Everything still points to him. It really, really does. I watched Gray Hughes last night, and it was pretty brief clip, but he's always good, like him or not. He always is really, really good with his computer work. And he did an animation of the timing that everything happened, from the girls seeing him to being spotted on the bridge to, you guys should check it out. And I do have a link for Mind of Monsters below. You guys check her out. She's phenomenal. I think he's guilty, but the evidence has created enough reasonable doubt that he may walk if the state can 100% prove the case, in my opinion. I agree. Only thing is Richard himself then when interviewed a second time, changes his story. There's a lot of problems. I really would love to know what they found when they searched his place. I think the Odin crap is just a distraction away from the fact RA is cold-blooded without remorse. JJ, get the water ready. Reasonable doubt has to be evidence-based. If an unspent cartridge, they've got nothing. Well, they've got that video, and we've only seen a few seconds of it, and we know that it's 43 seconds long. So we don't know what's happened there. Not really sure as far as what they found at his house, because we know they collected some interesting things. Yeah, agrees on it with Delphi for sure. Absolutely, Lacey. Wasn't the bullet found after the initial discovery of the girls, not even documented originally? Yeah, it was found basically between the two girls. They took pictures of it in the ground, and that was it. They didn't put any pictures of it being numbered. They didn't put any pictures of it being put in any kind of secure bag. Nothing. There was the one picture. I'm convinced RA is BG. It's hard not to, right? I'm from Indiana. The Odinism talk has always been big here. That's not reasonable doubt, in my opinion. So it's always been there from the beginning of the case. Do you think there's any possible connection from what you hear locally? Love you. Franky, y'all know Franky is a TV star now. I'm so proud to be a friend of the best Canadian CA person ever. Right back at you, Mom. Right back at you. You're absolutely one of my faves. Mind of Monsters is the one that set up TMZ. And go over to her channel and check out her. She's been on there a couple of times. So, if nothing else, it's something interesting. Who would ever think that we'd be on TMZ? Way before, not necessarily to the case. Hell, Richard may practice Odinism. Do you think, Lacey? Okay. Well, I know I've got a few names that I haven't really brought out in any, just because I didn't think it was connected to this case at that point. But there's that Brad fellow and others that pretty much are Odinists. It's what they say they are. And honestly, they can do what they want as long as they're not unaliving people. I don't personally care what they do. As long as they're not out there harming people, they can go out there and dance to the moon and howl with the wolves all they want. I mean, just stay away from the kids. And if they have something to do with the kids, burn in hell. I don't think he acted alone. You know what? That is a massive question in my mind. I cannot discount the Keegan Klein connection yet. I just cannot. I'm truly wondering, because I've read in Keegan Klein's paperwork that he opened up a SEX, kind of like trafficking ring for kids. How do you say that? I'm going to get in trouble, aren't I? Yes. From everything I've looked at, Lacey, that's what I see. Keegan Klein has literally said he was sitting up on the highway, pulled over in a red Jeep. Who owns a red Jeep? Well, that would be Daddy. That would be his dad, Tony Klein. Yes, exactly. Then the bridge water search happened from whenever Keegan told them, and then bam, Richard's arrest. 1000%. That's exactly. You're thinking along the same lines as me. I don't know what was thrown into the Wabash, but I do believe something was. They say they didn't find anything, but I'm also a little skeptical about that, right? So thanks very much for your input, Lacey. I don't believe KK, I 100% believe KK is somehow involved, just can't prove it yet. And I think yet is the thing, because the connections have to be made if they haven't been already. Then he got his charges dropped. Does Sammy the Bull have an Odinism tattoo on his arm? Why does that not surprise me? Yep, there was 5 charges dropped, went from 30 down to 25. There is too much of a coincidence. And what do we always say? There is no coincidence in crime. What they need, yes. Do you believe that Keegan is the one that helped possibly delete them? Or do you think it could have been Tony? It's just, it's not mapping. I'm really unsure as to whether Keegan Klein is involved. Do you think Tony could be involved? Like, I think, don't get me wrong. When I say I don't think Keegan's involved, all I'm saying is I don't know. Possible all 3. You see, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Keegan kind of, lookout guy, getting ready to pick up possibly Tony. This is all alleged, guys. So my thoughts are maybe he drove over there, parked his vehicle. His dad went down from there. Didn't cross the bridge, but possibly went down from there. We've got, yeah. And then we've got, So we've got Keegan driving there, allegedly. So drop his dad off. He'll walk down the hill and already be on that side. And then you've got Richard Allen that comes and parks over. I think he probably parked at the cemetery, which makes more sense to me, but we'll see. He goes across the bridge and basically traps them where they were. There was really nowhere for them to go. He tells them go down the hill. And in my mind, I think it's a good chance that it was Tony sitting down there waiting. You know, it sounds a lot when you listen to Keegan that he's pointing at his dad in a lot of different situations. I'm curious if his in prison got worse after that cult was brought up. I hope it got better because he does. They're both disgusting. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, like I say, Keegan has dropped different little bombs that make you think, ooh, Tony. You know, and I could see something like this happen. And then all Tony has to do is go back up the vehicle or back up the hill and jump into the vehicle waiting for him. And all Richard would have to do is walk up the hill and jump into his vehicle because it would be handy at that cemetery. It's just up the hill. I think it was filmed, then circulated for cash on the dark web. Oh, barf. Blech. But I think it's a possibility. Absolutely. So would I. So would I. That's something that has not been released. Do you know, I'm unsure about that sighting, to be honest with you, friend. It just doesn't sound like Richard. The guy was wearing a tan jacket and they said mud and blood. How would they know the difference at that point? And wouldn't you call the cops right away if you've seen some? I'm just unsure about that sighting, Lacey. I'm not calling anyone a liar. I just haven't put that in as a definite that it was him that she actually seen. Tony went to watch or participate later. The Klein's new RA was meeting them because they told him the access. Do you know what? This is it. We have heard nothing about Richard Allen's past history. I hope they have it. And we need to learn more about that drop box. Why did it take so long to arrest someone known to everyone? Do you know, my personal opinion is everybody when they say hiding in plain sight, I think that is a real thing. I think everybody gets used to seeing a person doing his job, being pleasant, not showing to be a little weirdo. And I mean, not to be rude, but maybe the fact that he was 5'4", people weren't putting him to bridge guy because you automatically think bridge guy is going to be this great big huge dude. So those are the only reasons I can come up with. Definitely it is not fact. It's just where from processing this it's going so far in my head. They should not said anything about his phone or anything except he was watching stock and fish. Yeah, watching fish from 60 feet above the water. And he should have that phone if he was watching that stock ticker, which should tell us a lot, shouldn't it? The story has changed so much as to him being there, then reason for being there. I don't know. The police investigation was a farce. Dougie Carter is a joke cop. Yeah, happens all the time. It does. I Googled KK and CP last night and got a warning from Uncle waiting for the FBI to show up now. Yeah, I mean, if they looked at the stuff that, same thing, Dandy, if they looked at my Google history, I'd be in the Who Scout, because it's nothing about it is what a person would consider normal, you know. But I'm thinking when they realize what we do, it will save us from being locked up with some freaking big Bertha that wants to make me her bride. Hello to you. They didn't have a clue how to investigate such a crime. There's such a small town there. Yeah, it is. But, didn't they call in the bigwigs pretty fast? I don't know. I thought they did. Was the second sketch done that looks nothing like the guy? So I think that one was the first sketch, but the second one they released. I think they released the second sketch that kind of looks like Richard last. My internet search history, I'd get life. Me and my hubby prepared our first turkey ever. Nice, friend. Whole meal today. My dad's birthday usually have him make Thanksgiving. Good on you, friend. Good job. The first time I made turkey dinner, I was in my early 20s, maybe. I forgot to take the bag of gizzards out. But hey, they're still tasty. I don't think KK could make it across that bridge without falling through it. Do you know what? Very well could be. The first sketch could be RA, the second could be KK. I've thought about that. I haven't eliminated that either. I haven't. Some Bertha comes at me, my internet. His shows, I think I could commit a perfect crime. Yes, happy birthday to Dad and happy Thanksgiving to you, Melissa. It is. And we haven't even got to the documents yet. I agree. Just grab it before anyone notices. Oh, Shauna, I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry. Wow. Yeah, I'm wondering about Tony. Yeah, yeah. Wow, what a case. Okay, so this is the appearance form from the state of Indiana, case number 41. Name of the defendant is Mitchell Thomas Westerman. Case type of proceedings, criminal misdemeanor. Prosecuting attorney information, if applicable. Lindsay K. Holdwin, attorney, and her information. Will the state accept facts? No. Arrest report number, originating agency case number. I give that case number, Indiana State Police District 4. Transaction control number not available, and additional information required by state or local rules. Pursuant to Criminal Rule 2.1a, this form shall be filed at the time a criminal proceeding is commenced. In emergencies, the requested information shall be supplied when it comes available. Parties shall advise the court of a change if information previously provided to the court This format is approved by the Division of the State Court Administration. So this is the state of Indiana versus Michael Thomas Westerman. Motion to keep arrest warrants and charging information confidential. Comes now the state of Indiana by its deputy prosecuting attorney of the 8th Judicial District and pursuant to IC 35-34-1-1D and access to court records, ACR Rule 5. Moves the court to order that the charging information and request for arrest warrant be sealed and held confidential until the defendant has been arrested or otherwise brought within the custody of the court in support of the state. Shows the following. Due to the sensitivity of the case, it is important to keep information within the probable cause affidavit and charging information confidential. The new online court access has made it possible for suspects and defendants and or their agents to discover the issuance of warrants before said warrants are able to be served by law enforcement. Public disclosure prior to service of the arrest warrant could increase the risk of flight by the defendant, create an undue risk of harm to the community and or law enforcement officers, and or jeopardize an ongoing criminal investigation. Wherefore the state requests that the above listed cause be sealed until such time that officers can execute upon the warrants issued pursuant to ACR Rule 5E1B. An order excluding public access shall expire immediately upon the arrest of the defendant. State of Indiana versus Michael Thomas Westerman. His information is redacted. The undersigned affiant, being duly sworn upon this oath, says she informed a verily believes that between August 1st, 2023 and October 5th, 2023, in Johnson County, state of Indiana, Mitchell Thomas Westerman did knowingly or intentionally exert unauthorized control over the property of Andrew Baldwin, to wit, images of all of which is contrary to the laws of the state of Indiana. I affirm that under the penalties of perjury as specified by IC 35-44.1-2-1 at the foregoing representations. These are the witnesses. State of Indiana versus Mitchell Westerman. Affidavit of probable cause. Benjamin Rector, duly sworn upon oath, states that I am employed as a law enforcement officer with the Indiana State Police. My current assignment is as a detective in the Criminal Investigations Division. Law enforcement was advised that on or about October 5th, 2023, that evidence from the case of State of Indiana versus Richard Allen had been released to the public. There is currently an order from the court in that case prohibiting the release of evidence to the public. Law enforcement was made aware that this evidence may have been obtained illegally and began an investigation. Law enforcement was able to receive the evidence from creators of a podcast who stated that they got the evidence from an individual in Texas. Indiana State Police First Sergeant Jerry Holman was able to identify individual in Texas as Mark Robert Cohen. Mark Robert Cohen was interviewed and law enforcement obtained screenshots of messages between Mark Cohen and an individual named Robert Fortson. Robert Fortson and Mark Cohen have various discussions about various pieces of evidence involved in the Richard Allen case. Indiana State Police Detective Ben Rector, was assigned to assist in the investigation. As part of the investigation, Afant completed interviews with attorney Brad Rossi and Andrew Baldwin on October 12, 2023, concerning the evidence that was taken without consent in regards of the representation of Richard Allen. Afant previously known that Rossi and Baldwin were attorneys which were assigned to represent Richard Allen in his criminal charges. During the course of that interview with Andrew Baldwin, Detective Rector learned that Baldwin is an associate of Mitchell Westerman. Baldwin has known Westerman for several years, and Westerman was previously employed by Baldwin's law firm. Westerman is no longer employed by the law firm. However, he still routinely stops in to the firm to visit with the staff and Baldwin. Wow. Guys, I need a hydration stop. This is unreal. The Ish Show. These two are choked. You know, Baldwin over here on the on the left side, his friend stole from him, made public disgusting images available to the public and podcasters and YouTube content creators. So therefore, he, you know, everyone's got their own opinion, but he was basically asked to resign. But then you got Rossi over here. That was not his office. He had nothing to do with this. Didn't even know Mitchell Westerman. But somehow he was asked to recuse himself. Frandel saying that if they didn't, she was basically going to humiliate them in court, allegedly. So they weren't left with the best options, were they? And I'm not saying that I think that they should stay on. I just want to make that clear. It's just this current shite show this is on Westerman. This is on Westerman. So I need a liquid. I made the worst possible coffee ever. Yuck. Ew. What did I do? Yucky. I did that. I should be ashamed of myself. Okay, here we go. On Monday, October 9th, 2023, Westerman contacted Baldwin about 4 p.m. and requested to meet him. They met at Baldwin's office shortly afterwards. Westerman told Baldwin that he had used his cell phone to take photographs of photographs, which were in Baldwin's conference room area. What a dick. Do you guys really think that a slap on the hand is going to be enough? Like, what do you guys think about this? I find it completely disgusting. Yes, absolutely. Guilty by association. He left that door unlocked. The confession in full, yeah. Criminal negligence should lay at the lawyer's feet. If they can't keep court documents safe, they should be disbarred. Do you think it should be that heavy or just kicked off this case and a learning lesson? You know, I really, honestly, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of this. Honestly, I really think that they might have to scratch it and start right over. He kind of just helped himself and then shared it. Then the dude called, the Murder Sheet podcast, and actually, I think he gave it to them and told them to call the cops. He didn't call the cops himself. I do believe he sent it to Anya and said, "Here, take these and send them to the cops." That's my understanding of it. No coffee for you? Yeah, I'm starting to think the same thing. It's pretty disgusting. I've only taken. Are you serious? What? Wowzer. Disbarred. What client or court can trust them now? Yeah. Yeah, cafe au lait. Nummy nummy. Oh, this case. Like, I don't know. Like I said a few times here now, I just think they might have to scrap it. Just they've trashed this case. But what I don't know is what to do with Richard Allen in the meantime. Hypothetically, he's innocent until he is proven guilty. So, can they really keep him locked up? Yes. Did you get that one? I don't think there's enough evidence to kick him off the case like that. I think it's going to come back and bite her in the butt. So what about, we were talking earlier, what about Fran Gull possibly being in the hospital for some kind of emergency? Do you think she's going to recuse herself? I'm wondering if that's where this is leading, which would be great. You know, if she has to play sick, maybe she is sick. Who am I to know? But it sounds very convenient, you know. Yeah, I go from coffee to vitamin water. Okay. So Baldwin stated that based on the timing of the events, he believed that there were, in fact, crime scene photos from Richard Allen's case in the conference room when Westerman visited his office. He also stated that there would have been side-by-side photographs which were previously used by the defense team in depositions. The photographs that Baldwin described are consistent with photographs the affiant has viewed, which were released of the crime scene. Baldwin stated that he did not authorize Westerman to take these photographs. During an interview with Rosie, he also indicated he did not authorize Westerman to take the photographs. Rosie further concluded that he believed that Westerman's taking of the photographs constituted theft because he did not believe that anyone had authorized Westerman to take the photographs. An affidavit was also provided to the Allen County Judge Gall, which states the following. Comes now, Mitchell Westerman first duly sworn under oath and states that the following information is within his personal knowledge and is true to the best of his knowledge. I was in attorney Andrew Baldwin's office building waiting to visit with him. He was in his office, either meeting with a client or on a phone call with closed doors. I went into the conference room to wait. I observed printed copies of the photo evidence on the conference room table. I took pictures of a few of them. Andrew Baldwin did not give me permission to take the photos of the printed copies. He was not present, and he did not have any knowledge that I took the pictures of the evidence photos. I am freely and voluntarily typing and signing this affidavit on my own accord because it's the truth. The document indicates it was signed October 18th, 2023 by Mitchell Westerman and was notarized. Appellant further believes that the above-mentioned facts establish probable cause to believe that Mitchell Westerman has committed the act of conversion. Further affiance saith not, affirmed Benjamin Rector. State of Indiana, Mitchell Thomas Westerman, orders sealing arrest warrant and charging information confidential. Comes now the state of Indiana on its motion to keep arrest warrants and charging information confidential. The court, after being duly advised, finds that the same shall be granted. It is therefore ordered and adjudged that the charging information and request for warrant be sealed and held confidential until the defendant has been arrested or otherwise brought within the custody of the court. This was ordered on the on November 21st, so 2 days ago. Indiana, against Michael Thomas Westerman, order determining probable cause and request for warrant. It now comes, State of Indiana, by its special prosecutor, Lindsay Holden Kay, and files the state's information of probable cause affidavit in the court, having seen and examined the same and being duly advised in the premises, now finds that the probable cause exists for bringing of charges stated in this information. It is therefore determined that the court that probable cause exists for being in charges, bringing of charges alleged in the information in the above entitled cause of action. The court now orders the clerk of this court to issue a warrant for the arrest of the named defendant, and hereby sets a bond on the defendant in the sum of $1,000 or $250 cash only. Okay. And then, as an additional condition of the bond pre-trial release under the cause of action, the defendant shall not be arrested or charged with a new criminal offense, is prohibited from using illegal drugs and or prescriptions for which the defendant does not possess a valid prescription, and subject to random screens by the court, and subject to random alcohol screens in the court, by the court. Yeah, make sure he's sober. And if he's got issues with substances, well, he better start doing the shakes now. Get ready, buddy, because you might be in a little more trouble. This could just be the beginning of an ish show. I'm going to have a sip of my dreadful coffee. Blech. Okay, there's the reason I'm not a barista. So, motion to unseal arrest warrant. Comes now the state of Indiana by Special Prosecutor Lindsay Holden Kay as a request from the court to unseal an arrest warrant on Mitchell Thomas Westerman, case number 41D03-2311-CM-001119. There's all of our signatures. So, State of Indiana versus Michael Thomas Westerman, filed November 22nd, 2023, yesterday. Order unsealing arrest warrant. Comes now the State of Indiana by its Special Prosecutor, Lindsay Holden Kay, that requests the court to unseal the arrest warrants. The court, having taken the matter under advisement, and been duly advised in the premises, now orders a clerk to unseal the arrest warrant signed yesterday by the judge. I'm sorry, I don't know that signature. Do you guys? What does that say? Like, look at, they write like freaking doctors. So we have that, and then there is one more that came through. Let's take a boo. What you doing? I have no idea what that was all about. Okay, so this is just a one-page document, and this is the filing, I do believe. State of Indiana, Rex Ellender. Ellender, there we go. Richard Allen, Realtor versus Carroll Circuit County Respondents. Okay, and this is the order. On October 30th, 2023, the Realtor by counsel petitioned for a writ of mandamus and prohibition seeking relief under rules of procedure for original actions on November 16th, 2023. Respondents by counsel filed a brief opposing the petition. The realtor has moved to file a brief reply to the respondent's brief. Although the rules of procedure and original actions do not afford a realtor the right to file a reply after the respondents have opposed issuance of writ, the court retains the authority to permit deviation from rules and chooses to do so here. Being duly advised, the court grants the realtor's motion for leave to respond to respondent's objection. The clerk is instructed to file realtor's response to respondent's objection as of the date of this order, 11/22. Chief Justice Loretta H. Rush. So it does look like there might be more documents coming out. I don't know that it's going to be today, but I see them in our future. Absolutely. Oh, that's it. Like, isn't this heartbreaking? Right now, the families have another year of a heartbreaking wait. Oh, yes, I do know about Chad. Is there information floating around about him? I'll have to take a look. Unless they honestly think that RA is innocent, I don't understand the risking their reputation. And even then, why not wait for the trial to prove his innocence? You know, it's kind of looking that way. Mine is, I can tell you that. Their accusations are out there, to say the least. Yeah. They're saying that all based on evidence from the police. I think Richard Allen should shut it because what he did to those girls was horrible. He's lucky alongside Chad, whatever his name is that the police did not just take them out and save time. Oh my God, Chad. Wasn't the whole Odinist angle first brought up by the state? You see, that is the thing, Dandy. You're 100%. Yeah, Chad Dorman. That's the thing. At the very, very, very beginning of all of this, someone did bring up the Odinist connection. They said that they looked at it thoroughly and that there was no connection. So they did bring it up and then they eliminated it. So I'm not quite sure how that will work out. If only one attorney mucked up, why fire both though? Yeah, I'm not so sure that Rosie should go. I believe that probably Baldwin, it would be a great idea because it was his office, his friend, and, kind of negligent to keep that door unlocked. But that had nothing to do with Rosie. That's not his office. So it's very confusing to me why the judge would decide to take them both out when really they could have just taken out Baldwin and possibly kept the case going with another lawyer that could get integrated with Rosie. I think it would have been a way better way to go. Here we have due process, and now he's innocent. That's right. Right now, the family's having another year of heartbreaking wait. It makes me brutally sad. We've got some new now. I thought this came from the defense. Originally, it really did come from the prosecution, but it was just an angle they looked at, like a lead that didn't work out, basically. So one thing I missed, who deleted themselves over the leaked evidence? Okay, that was the young military man, who I believe is the one that Baldwin sent. He was the Texas guy. And I do believe he was the second person to receive those. And then he sent him to this next guy. And when he got a hold of them, he sent them to Murder Sheet. That's my understanding of it. Yeah, they just went back to the very, very beginning. So if what we were told earlier by Lacey, if that area is known for having Odinists in it, it's really easy for them to add it. If that is something that area is known for, if the jail's known for it, if it's something that is predominant in the area, it does not surprise me that they would go this direction. The defense investigated after the fact. I thought Chapper. I could be very wrong, though. I think you're right. Yeah, the Texas guy. He was military and very, very ashamed, I do believe, and was worried about his reputation, was worried about losing his job, all of those different things, and decided to take things into his own hands. Well, hello, Tracy. Good to see you, friend. Yeah, it's a complete-ish show, James. Yeah, it really is. It is heartbreaking. We're just finishing up, Tracy. Just finishing up. The POS list so far: Letitia, Chad, Richard Allen, Borgos. Let's not forget Koberger. Oh my goodness, the blonde Chad and her, those two. I mean, there's been some, right? Guilty or innocent, it ain't ruining my reputation, right? Drinks, please, doctors. What a day. What a day. Again, happy Thanksgiving to all of my American family, which would be you guys. A mess from the very, very beginning. You know what? That's really well said, James. It really is well said. While we're finishing up here, I'm going to put these two pictures up. These are the faces of the girls that we are fighting for justice for. 7 years. And now this has turned into a complete ish show. This is about Abby Williams and Libby German and their families. Justice is being denied. Well said. Finally beginning to feel some kind of normal. You're here. You're here. Yeah, it was. Oh, and there is a tier list, a POS list. Anyone that harms a child is on top of the POS list. Yes, he is. He or she. It seems like there is a possible female teacher epidemic going around. Ooh, that would make me cranky in bad ways. Unless there's proof they planned this leak. So, do you know what their reputations are in that area? You know, as far as the original lawyers, Baldwin and Rossi? I'd be really curious. Odinism is big in the area. Prosecution looked at the angle in the very beginning. Yeah, that's exactly what I learned. That's exactly what I thought through going through the documents, which I have many of. So in my mind, if it is something that is big in that area, it would seem to me the lawyers would know that that is probably a really good direction to throw this case off. You know, if they're out there and they are in the system, the jail system, I can see it. I can see it. I'm sorry. Yeah. As you all know, this case is close to my heart. It has been for 7 years, and having even slight interaction with Kelsey, slight encounters with Patty, it has given me an even stronger desire to try and find justice for these girls. I'm a Canadian. I cannot be at these trials. I cannot be taking images. I mean, I would be all over walking around that trestle that those girls were on. There's so many things I'm curious about. But, you know, I've got Google Earth, but it just doesn't do it justice. So, yeah, anybody in that area, I mean, they have a really good idea what's going on. Might sound weird to us, but every little area's got their weirdos. It's been a long couple of weeks. I'm sorry, I won't put that up. I still say the correction officers can display their cult patches on their uniform. It runs very deep. That's what I think, Nunya. Right? 1000%. I've missed what's really going on, but whatever it is, white light, massive hugs to Tracy. We will get justice for you too, girls. Wait and see. Yeah. Thank you for that, Mel. You know, isn't it just the most heartbreaking case? Look at these babies. You know, it's bizarre because we got a 13 and a 14-year-old. On the right side, Libby, makes me nauseous because that is the age my mother kicked me out of my house, out of my family home, that age. This sort of thing, due to personal experiences, it just, it's horrific. And my heart is with everybody. I'm just thankful the girls were smart enough to record Bridge Guy. I just don't know. I just know they were terrified. And I know. They definitely knew it was a good angle for reasonable doubt. Yeah, by the way it's being explained by you, that is making total sense to me now. It really, really is. It's probably the best angle possible for them to throw a glitch into things. Libby is a hero for her smart, on-the-fly thinking and acting. Yes, she is. How could so much point to the cult and it have no bearing on the case? Just odd. Yeah, you see, I I'm thinking that really it might have to do with the fact that there's so many Odinists in the area that it's a good idea for the defense to go. And I mean, it sounds like they were pretty open about being Odinists. That area, the whole area knows about it. So, I mean, it can throw in reasonable doubt for sure, but it can also maybe give a little bit of an understanding if they can actually get it out that this area is full of people that follow this type of religion. If they get evidence, how could they swear an oath on the Bible? Yeah, I don't know how that works. I really don't know how that works. Do you? I don't know how that works. More often than one person for sure, with what old Doug said. Yeah. They have taken God out of the court. They have. Well said. Talking of guilt, that eye drops case verdict came in, or am I behind on that as well? That I don't know. There you go. Guilty. Oh, I did know. I did know. Actually, I forgot. They've admitted under oath that they have patches on their uniform and that they were told to take them off. So right after this kind of stuff became public, they started taking off those patches. Keegan is the main reason I'll never believe the Odinism stuff. Boom, friend. Boom. If I was employing someone, being an Odist wouldn't get you a job, never mind cops or CEOs. I don't know if at first they would. I don't know that they could even ask what religion. I don't think that they can do that on when you're looking to hire somebody. I think that's private. They know how to word things to sway the public opinion. They absolutely do. They caught Spidey Boy too. Yes, yes, they did. They are on my playlist for November. So is last night's car explosion at the Canadian-US border. I did cover that for a while last night as well. That was something. So check it out. The defense is using this as a Letitia used Quincy Brown. It only takes a little bit of an investigation to find them full of, yeah. There were a lot of things done for one person. Yeah, it really does give me pause, but I'm just sorry, I just can't swallow this Odinism stuff. I just think the likelihood of Keegan, due to the fact he did have contact with these girls just before, I can't eliminate it. Not yet. They have to show me more. Oh, didn't it? When I was doing the live stream last night, like I just kept going back and like, what am I seeing? So that car was going like 100 miles an hour. Before we end here, I'm really curious. Do you think that was a car accident? Or do you think that was intentional? Why were they wearing those patches to start with? This would be me turning up for a job dressed like a crusade, your big red cross on the front. Yeah, yeah. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe the warden is an Odinist. Just a thought. You're getting there, Mal. You're getting there. They said the car thing was a married couple that were driving a Bentley after leaving a casino because their Kiss concert was canceled. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they were saying. How the hell do you end up going from a casino to orbiting off of something like that car did? It was something else. I agree, James. I don't know. And the black smoke. Did you see that? Wow. Agreed. Unreal. That car launched itself as it hit the curb. Looks like something. That's what I was saying. This looks like Dukes of Hazzard. It really did. The only thing that blew the whole Odin idea for me was them saying they also white nationalists. Don't you think they would have targeted girls of a different race? You betcha. 1000% where my mind goes, which makes me, you guys, think of the Flora cases, those 4 little girls. Just my opinion. Yeah, they call it a religion, right? Exactly. It'd be like telling someone they can't wear a cross to work. On Discord, lots, so much on that. Got to go catch up on. Yeah, guys, don't forget to check out our Discord. Very active. I do have it in the description, but I'll grab you guys a link here. So come join us on Discord, guys. It's an awesome platform. Check it out. Check it out. They must have been very angry about that concert being canceled, right? So, I mean, you'd think that they would go, okay, well, turn right, this happens, turn left, that happens. What the hell were they doing heading towards the border? I find that really odd. Maybe the police and port officials are in the cult too. It's prevalent there. That has definitely entered my mind. You bet, Nunya. Nunya. Do you know what? I'd have to double check that, friend. What time is the vid on for you guys? Shot. I am either back or forward on it. Am I missing something? I hated how our media called the car wreck a terrorist attack. Did you see that? Yeah, right away they were calling it a terrorist attack. I mean, I know that they have to look at all angles. I understand that. But immediately it did place fear into everybody. I mean, even our Nimrod over here was, spouting. Every defense, you should always look for holes. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what they do. Hey, I met Daisy Duke. She ain't as pretty as you think. I was shocked. The young Daisy Duke, like I'm talking, when she was back having a cute little figure and everything. Nope, makeup does a lot. It's just my personal opinion. I think so too. Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? Kiss was in Canada? So what? They drove into Canada and then drove back into the US, gambled, turned around, and then went and like flying through the checkpoint. I don't know. I could never be a defense attorney unless I absolutely knew my client was innocent. I couldn't either, Lacey. You would not believe how much I have an issue with them. It's probably not so much with them, but what they're allowed to get away with. It disturbs me. Yeah, Catherine Batt. You betcha. That's the one, my friend. So, guys, you know what? Thank you very, very much for joining me on Thanksgiving. I might, let's just put it this way. Cover up concealer does a lot for a human done professionally. Just my personal opinion. I mean, I thought she was just beautiful until I met her. So, guys, again, thank you. Oh, right? Nothing like she does on TV. Don't. So, anyone who has not subscribed, don't forget to do so. Hit that subscribe, share, and like. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.